And it says we're live.
Yeah, well, you know how it was.
for Hawaiian church.
What?
Okay, and so here we sit patiently waiting on.
Not so patiently.
Yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
Ah, well.
And the whale just went.
The interesting thing is CDC has now changed their mask requirements.
No.
Again.
So
Because Fauci and the CDC aren't talking beforehand. That's why the CDC has to change their mask. Because Fauci says something, after the CDC says something, after Fauci says something, after the CDC says something, and finally they're like, "Oh wait, what do we have to get on the same shit?"
Well, after Fauci's what he did with the AIDS epidemic, I don't imagine anybody at CDC is really listening to him right now.
Did you see how? Okay, so Fauci has been tied to the Wuhan lab for gain of function testing, right?
Yes.
And none of the testing they did at the Wuhan lab was vetted for gain of function. Do you know why?
We didn't pay for it?
No, we did. In the contract, they redefined the gain of function to such a high bar that they didn't have to do it. So
it wasn't
just
technically gain of function.
Right, because we've said gain of function has to include all this other stuff.
Oh.
Yes.
So.
And RK says, why is Jim even listening to Fauci? He's total rubbish.
I know, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them both try to get on the same page.
Well, the newest thing is that now they're saying, even if you've been vaccinated, you have to mask indoors.
Yes.
In public places.
Right.
The state of California
2 minutes.
The city of New York have both said that you have to mask indoors.
No.
Yes. Because they spent the entire 2020 campaign poo-pooing science.
Yeah.
Oh no, poo-pooing Orange Man bad.
Well, science has been out the window since day one on this.
Kidding, right?
And the other thing that I found interesting is now the test is being disqualified.
Yeah.
It doesn't test for the new Delta variant.
Well, it doesn't test for the Delta variant. And also it cannot and has never been able to separate out the difference between COVID and influenza.
Right. Which is why we had 0 influenza cases last year.
Because if it popped up pink, it was automatically COVID, despite that popping up pink meant it could be COVID, could be influenza, could be Mongolian rabies.
Yeah.
So the way all these influenza COVID viruses work is they have a T receptor that attaches to your cell.
Yeah.
And that's how they test for. They test. Do you have this T receptor in your? Is it running around in your bloodstream?
Okay.
If it is, you've got it. You've got something.
Yeah.
Right. For them to actually find out what it is, they have to get like a scanning electron microscope and look at it.
Well, they have to do the gene test. But trouble is they are cycling it so many times that it's fundamentally useless.
Yeah.
But it's
if you can, as an example, I don't know, I'm sure somebody will correct me, as a creative articulation, if the maximum you can cycle this sample is 3 to get a readable, is 3 times to get a readable gene sequence, they're sequencing the damn thing 103 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking.
Yeah, Raptor says he's going to have to get the jab if he wants to go to his brother's wedding in Rhode Island.
Okay. The Johnson & Johnson makes you a zombie. I don't know which of the other two give you superpowers.
They don't.
I don't care which one it is because I just want to be in the zombie group. So
there you go.
For our 3 listeners, there you go.
Oh, and Raptor screwed up and said that he already RSVP'd and was going to be the best man. Well, good luck to you, man.
I'm just going to throw this out there as a creative articulation, a complete hypothesis. But apropos of nothing, I've noticed that there are CDC vaccine cards you can download off the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, Because as soon as they require them, there's going to be a thriving black market
There's already a thriving black market.
in fake immunization cards. And why did they have to come up with a new one?
Yeah.
What happened to the yellow one?
Yeah, the yellow one I got when I went to Africa, and you have to show that you've had the yellow fever shot.
Yep.
They give you the big one, and it fits nicely in your passport.
Yeah.
I demanded to know why they wouldn't endorse my yellow card when they made me get the and they looked at me. What's a yellow card?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking to any of you.
Yeah.
Because my yellow card's 3 cards thick.
Yeah. Koala goes, it's all a lie. I think I love you, Koala.
The spoon is a lie. The spoon is a lie.
Yeah.
I was going somewhere. I just had a complete total.
No, then you showed up here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because it used to be when I was living in Dallas when I got when I was heading to Africa, and I had to go to a specific clinic to get the yellow fever shot because there's no, and they dealt with that and they understood what an immunization card was and they filled it out.
Yeah, the CVS drone that stabbed me in the shoulder didn't have a bloody clue.
No, they don't know.
No.
But
that's why I prefer to get mine either through the VA or through a military base where they know what a friggin' yellow card is.
And you know, at Campbell, didn't get a yellow card.
Jackson, I did.
You walk down that hallway and 80 guys hit you with air guns.
Yeah.
No yellow card.
I did at Jackson when you went.
They had to give you a yellow card if you were aircrew.
Well, okay. First off, helicopters.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder for us to get to another country than it is for the guys that have an 8-hour cruising range at 300 miles an hour. Secondly, they may have done one and stuck it in your medical file.
2-1 file.
They didn't give it to the individuals.
Did you go through the gym at Fort Jackson? You walk through the door and there's the whole bunch of curtained off tunnels.
Yes.
And then you go through one and there's Miss Playboy 1985, and next thing you know, you've been shot 3 times in the arms.
They didn't do any Miss Playboy anything. It was you walk down the hallway and these grinning gorillas with air guns.
I hate those air guns.
Chuckling, hit you as you walk down. It's both Jackson and Campbell.
I went Jackson and I walked down the curtain corridor, made a left. There was, holy crap, there's Miss Quack, Quack, Quack. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, RK says, I carried my yellow card into active duty and it's still the same card. Yes, it is.
But suddenly we have to have a new immunization card for the internal passports that are coming.
Apparently the American divers just pulled off a miracle and got a silver.
Well done.
Oh,
anybody else here friends with Jim Belmore on Facebook?
Yeah.
Apparently his new job, the ID lanyards everybody has to wear, there's a different color. If you are vaccinated, you get one color. If you're unvaccinated, you get another color.
No.
And during the
that's a violation of HIPAA.
And during the intake, they are told you cannot discriminate based on the color of their ID lanyard.
That's a violation of HIPAA. First off.
Yeah.
Why don't they just give us the yellow stars and be done with it? It's something funny. Well, actually funny, not funny.
Goblin commune beating somebody with a Himalayan salt lamp and a hemp pillowcase.
That'd be scratchy.
Yes, Ian did finish his short story.
What? Somebody asked?
No.
Oh, okay.
You brought it up, so I'm going to finish the comment. Ian we're in an anthology that's coming out for Halloween called It Came from the Trailer Park. And Ian had been grumbling about writing this particular short story for a couple of weeks.
Couple of months,
whatever. And then he shows up yesterday with, here, read this.
Fine, that wasn't even the one I was writing. It just took off.
And it's short, but it is freaking hilarious.
It is the shortest short story I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's a little over 3,000 words.
Yeah.
And usually my short stories run 8,000 minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a short story, but it just kind of took off.
Yeah. And it is absolutely hilarious. Mine is strange.
This is for Tales Around the
No, this is for It Came from the Trailer Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So for somebody that really hates doing anthologies,
He
you
hates
do a lot of
putting,
anthologies.
he hates putting them together.
Right,
Now-
so we can find somebody else to do the editing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm here to tell you, if you are a writer, a beginning writer, experienced writer, whatever, do anthologies. Because one, it's a short story that you can do in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or in my case, if I get bitten by the bug, 8 hours. And it gets you really wide exposure.
If you have a couple of big names on the ticket.
Even if you don't, everybody's got fans.
Yeah.
Even the little gal that writes the tweeny romance at the local writers group, she's
Yeah.
got fans. And now they get to read, or back when we did the other one, they got to read my story, and maybe I picked up a couple of them.
Yeah.
It's exposure.
Yeah.
And maybe one of them said, ooh, that looks like something my fill in the blank here would like to read. And I get another fan.
15, 20 sales pick up off of it. That's worth it.
Heck yes. And then
Yeah.
Tales from Trailer Park, I don't think we've got any really big names, do we?
No.
But it's going to be fun.
RK says, speaking of trailer parks,
So
did
hang
any
on,
of you
hang on,
play the,
let's back up a second. Are you in Tales of the Trailer Park?
Yes. That's
I hate to tell you this.
What?
Got a really big name.
No, we don't.
Yes, you are.
No.
Who here has been introduced by Larry Correa as an author?
both of us?
Stop.
Both of us have.
In a large
Nope. It doesn't
con
count. It doesn't count.
that had, and it was in a large, what do you call those, panel.
It doesn't count.
Why doesn't it count?
It just doesn't.
It doesn't
Because
count.
I said it doesn't count. Moving
Because
on.
he's
What'd she
freaky.
say? What'd she say?
RK said, has any of you played the trailer park game? It's hilarious. No, I haven't.
The trailer park game.
Yeah.
Along came a tornado. What?
I don't know. Tornadoes love to hit trailer parks.
They do.
That's for damn sure.
How is a trailer park like a Texas divorce? One
Yeah.
way or another, somebody's losing a trailer.
Yeah. Anyway, the funny story I was starting to tell before I got so freaking rudely interrupted.
And sidetracked.
This guy over in Europe was bored and
That's a
creative,
bad way to start a story.
so he built a copy of an 1850s Colt pistol,
How many years is he doing in the pen?
except it weighs 45 pounds and it shoots 136 grain or gram bullet, not grain, gram. It's a 28 millimeter bullet.
It's not a bullet, that's a destructive device.
It's in Europe. I don't think they have those.
Oh, yeah, because that's defined in the, okay.
And it's about 3 feet long and it takes 2 people to carry it. And it takes both hands to pull the trigger.
You
mean-
think?
Yeah.
23 millimeters in the mortar range.
The 25 millimeter is 1 inch. So this is a little over 1 inch. If
Yeah.
it's 28, it's a little over 1 inch.
Yeah. RK says it's a board game like Monopoly, but with tornadoes, shack-ups, bad plumbing, domestic flare-ups, nosy folks, among other things.
Is it like Chutes and Ladders?
I don't know.
Or the original version, Snakes and Ladders? Why they changed that, I don't know.
I don't either. I like Snakes and Ladders. I
Yeah.
paid Snakes and Ladders up to the 80s.
Rapture says, yeah, he's going to jail till the end of time. Actually, he's not.
No, in Europe they can do that.
Yeah,
It's like in Europe you can buy a silencer in the hardware, gun silencer in the hardware store.
$37 in Sweden.
Yeah, in the hardware store because it's
Yeah.
a safety device, like it should be.
Every time,
Idiots.
And Aaron goes, oh, that game sounds like fun. No comment.
every time they introduce legislation to remove the silencers from the NFA Act.
The rubbers go belly up.
Well, they're not silencers to start with. They're
Or the
suppressors.
suppressors. The Republicans get all weak in the knee,
Right.
then the Democrats hang a poison pill on it, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, they're mufflers
Yeah,
because
basically.
the same guy that invented the car muffler invented the very same guy invented the car muffler invented the firearm muffler.
Yeah.
Well, they define the terms.
Yeah, I think on his patent, in the patent he's has a
Muffler, yeah.
muffler.
Yeah.
It's the but they define it based on how much noise suppression you get.
Yeah.
Whether it's a muffler or a suppressor or a silencer.
Well, there's no such thing as a
Yeah,
silencer.
it's all based on how much
Yeah.
suppression you get, and it's based on percentage of the unsuppressed or unmuffled sound.
And Jesse goes, point of order, Maxim's patent says silencer.
Oh,
Yes,
it
it
does?
does.
Okay, I thought it said muffler.
Yeah, Maxim's patent does say silencer.
Okay. I thought it said muffler for some reason.
Yeah, but it's never. You know, it's not what you see in the Hollywood movies.
Oh God,
Trust
no.
me.
Oh God, no.
What they had to do to invent a suppressor for a revolver from whatever movie that was, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, and then a suppressor for a shotgun from No Country for Old Men. The amount of hoops they had to do to develop it was hilarious to watch.
Well, they developed a suppressor for a revolver in Vietnam.
Well, they did. It was the hush. No, it was a
No,
44.
the hush puppy.
It was
The hush
44
puppy was a
Magnum.
9mm.
Yeah, 44 Magnum with
It's
a
a 44 Magnum.
real tight cylinder gap.
Yep, with almost no cylinder gap. The barrel was 1 inch long, and the suppressor was 6 inches long.
And then the Nagant was.
Yeah.
But that was going to, if you want to suppress something, that's to be a revolver, I suppose.
Yeah, but you don't need. I mean, the Nagant pistol is such a small, slight round to begin with that there's not a. You're not buying a lot with a suppressor.
Speaking of revolvers and suppressors, one of the first movies I ever went, the hell, as far as gun stuff goes, was Godfather.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene where he's
Yeah.
one of the secondary characters is handed this box full of silencers, and he's trying to screw him on he's got a revolver. He's going, they don't fit. You bought me the wrong things. It's like, you know, here I am. I think I was 18 when I first saw it. It's like, you got to cut the barrel, genius.
Yeah.
It just doesn't on that Colt Python. You don't cut the barrel, it ain't fitting.
28 count threads. Not that I know what number.
Yeah. It's I got mad at the Godfather and walked out of the theater because that was complete utter bullshit.
The Raptor goes, ATF, Delenda Est.
The one I love was I think it was called the Sunshine Boys. I'm not sure. It had Art Carney, George Burns, and somebody else in it. And this is when they were in their 80s. They made this movie, and they were robbing a bank. So they run out and they buy guns and ammo, and they did it separately. And one of these guys, he dumps this paper sack full of guns on the table, and one of the other ones dumps a paper sack full of just loose bullets on the table, and they take them, and they're just trying, okay, this one fit, no, this one doesn't fit, oh, that fall away through.
Oh my God. 3 Days of the Condor. I used to love that movie. Still love 3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah, Raptor said it was not the first Godfather, maybe part 2 or part 3.
It was one of the Godfathers.
Yeah.
And the guy, the character's freaking out because somebody's finally brought him these suppressors he's been waiting for ages.
Yeah.
He takes just a standard, I think it was a Python, and goes, see, it doesn't fit, and loses his mind at the henchman who bought him these silencers. I'm going, you moron. But 3 Days of the Condor, I still love that movie. But there's a scene when they're massacring the CIA outpost with Ingrams, silenced Ingrams. And the silenced Ingrams are quieter than the telex machine.
Yeah. Which they are not in real life.
Well, I know.
Later at Aberdeen, I've been playing with Ingrams, and I was going, there's something wrong with these suppressors.
Yeah.
Because they're too loud?
The chief warrant went, no, there's not. I said, no. He said, shut up.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the silencers. They're a lot louder than a telex machine, I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. Jesse says, ATF should be reorged as a chain of convenience stores. Yep.
Yep. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Yep.
Actually, I believe there's one here in Texas. It's called ATF.
There is. It's somewhere down in Metro Mess. Speaking of Metro Mess.
Fort Worth.
Yeah. Yes.
Represent.
Oh, God, yes. Fort Worth.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Idiot.
Oh, the shooting. Yes.
An idiot decided to get an argument at a party
That he'd been invited to.
Leave, come back, get in another argument, leave again, come back with a gun, and start shooting people.
The power of tequila.
And the other people there beat the son of a bitch to death with paving stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love my state.
'Cause
God, I love my state.
Every now and again, you need a good biblical story.
Yeah. And you just know when that goes to the grand jury, the jury's going to go, just get out of here.
They're going to no-bill it.
You know, where's the pizza?
Yeah.
Because if that would happen more often, be a lot fewer of this crap going on.
Yeah.
Well, what worries me about this is somewhere in Fort Worth, there's now a guy who spent all this time and money hiring some guys out of Home Depot to put those paving stones in the sidewalk. And now he's got to hire them again to put them back.
Put them back.
And replace the ones that got broken on
no,
the guy's head.
Actually, he's going to have to get them back from evidence first.
Yeah.
Because they're sitting in an evidence closet somewhere.
Yeah.
Some poor evidence sergeant's marking them with ID number
Yeah.
41231, ID number 41232.
Yeah.
How many of these? 80? Oh, Jesus.
Jesse's going, hey, bring a gun to a rock fight. Nah, that doesn't alliterate worth a damn.
That's and you know, it's I was talking somebody earlier. They said, well, you know, and this from not from around here. There's on Facebook. Well, they're going to be in trouble.
No.
I said, why?
No.
They beat somebody to death with rocks. Yes, who had already killed somebody.
Yeah.
He's first off, he's on somebody else's property.
Yep.
With a gun.
With a
First
gun.
off, he had to leave, get the gun, and come back.
That makes it premeditated right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So that's murder one. He's dead anyways, because
Yeah.
not only
Apparently very
because
good.
if they hadn't stoned him to death, there were more than 3 witnesses. He goes into the fast lane for the
Yeah.
execution. God bless Texas.
Our case says, at least it worked. Yeah, it did.
But this person was like, oh my God, I'm not ever moving to Texas.
Good.
Good. Good.
Good.
Mm.
It's not California. Suck it. You get stupid, we will get biblical on your ass.
Yeah.
Done. Moving on.
Apparently, in a local jurisdiction north of us is yesterday afternoon.
North is in Oklahoma.
No, northwest of us.
Northwest.
Armadillo,
Uh-oh.
or Amarillo, as it's correct.
Uh-oh.
Although I used to screw with my kids when they were little and call it armadillo.
Armadillo.
And my youngest daughter will occasionally get pissed at me because I'll say armadillo and she'll go, damn it, Daddy.
Gene
Yeah.
has a slightly modified version of armadillo.
Yeah.
She calls it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it on there because it's a bad word.
Like that.
Anyway, so
So apparently
Armadillo.
yesterday afternoon, some dude's garage blew up.
meth lab or
Sadly, not with him in it.
damn it.
But explosives were found in, among other things, the alley behind the house. And
Damn.
he was not of Norwegian heritage.
You say he was maybe melanin enhanced?
Central Asian.
Goodness.
So
Aloha snack bar.
what would they cook? I mean, other than meth, but meth is kind of a
It was an Aloha
US thing.
snack bar. He was building a bomb.
He
Oh,
was
was
building
he?
a bomb.
Did he have a lot of?
Guys, Pantex is right there.
Let me guess. He did not enter the country legally either, did he?
That has not been
Oh, I'm willing
stated,
to
verified,
bet
or
he
anything
probably
else.
came in legally because they've been doing that.
I'm betting he was one of the ones that was shipped off up there.
Yeah, the Syrians that
Yeah.
Obama sent up there.
Do you know
Aloha snack bar.
Do you know what Governor Abbott called Texas's border policy?
Uh-uh.
Catch in jail.
And they are jailing people left and right.
Yeah.
And convicting them and kicking them out. It's
Yep,
it's
yes.
apparently
They've got an assembly line
a
going.
U.S. record for arresting, convicting, and kicking out.
Yeah, but the amazing bit is this has got to be driving Biden and the rest of the ficus just bonkers.
Yeah.
When he's coherent enough to think about
Well,
it.
no, they opened the border on purpose, right?
Yep.
They weaponize illegal immigration along with
Of course.
Yeah.
weaponizing, defunding the police, all the other things they weaponize. And so the states stepped up and said, well, fuck you, ficus. And I'm sorry,
Oh, I
24 minutes.
did it too. So we're good.
Okay, so he said, fuck you, ficus. And we're going not only are we going to not follow your policy, we're going to do the exact opposite. And we're going to do it in
We're
such
going
a
to give
way,
them criminal records.
right? And we're going to do it in such a way that they will never, ever be able to enter the country legally.
Yep.
God bless Texas.
Booyah. I have my issues with Abbott. I really do.
He screwed some things up, but
He screwed up the whole COVID response. But his gun, on my hot button, on gun issues, he's been great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the open border didn't used to be a hot topic, but it is now. And
Well,
I thoroughly approve of his catch, convict, and kick.
when you're looking at better than 2 million a year across the border.
Yeah.
Not 2 million illegals in the country, 2 million crossing new a year. Yeah, the border becomes a hot button topic. And it's one of the few duties the federal government is actually enumerated to do.
Mandated in the Constitution to do, and they're
literally
slagging it off.
They're literally doing the opposite.
Yep, as Jesse says, they're illegally flying the kids from the border all over the country.
1 in
thus
4
weaponizing human trafficking by the government.
Because now the parents are going to have to go find the kid.
1 in 4 of the kids that they're flying all over the country are testing positive for COVID.
Oh yeah.
It's 1 in 4.
But they're not requiring them to get shots.
Right. This is not a super spreader event.
No.
The Dems,
whatever.
Yeah.
all the Dems in Texas that ran away to the DC, that's not a super spreader event.
I wish.
Going to a country music concert is a super spreader event.
Yeah.
According to the doctor.
Apparently having a 750-person science fiction convention is a super spreader event according to the idiots CDC.
Well, no, because it's a wrong science fiction. It's not the woke science fiction that the Hugo has.
Hey, hello, Sarah. Well, the interesting part of that is apparently they're now down to the third Hugo committee.
Something like that. I gave up. I was giggling so hard. I thought
they're down to one guy. I mean, literally, the guy who runs the con has now been tasked with the Hugo Awards.
I think
that's about right.
Yeah.
He's doing all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah, because the original committee just
apparently came apart.
Well, because it wasn't woke enough.
Yeah. And then they all quit. The second committee went, oh God, we can't do this, and quit. And I don't know what's going on now. Frankly, I don't care. The Hugo Awards at one time were
back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
It was
which was not 20 years ago, people.
Oh, bite me. Hugo Award winning at one time on a novel meant it was a really good novel.
Yeah.
Since about the 80s, maybe 90s, Hugo Award winning on a novel meant it was Drek.
Yeah.
Well, they used to, I remember when I was a kid and I couldn't afford to buy books, I would go to the bookstore and I would stand to the aisle and read the book, and they knew it.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
And they used to have the Hugo compendiums every year, right?
Yeah.
So everybody who won a Hugo in the short story and novella area, you get put in a book.
Yeah.
And I can remember reading them and then eventually getting to the point where I'm like, no, this is no good.
Steph says it's a shame, but they're dead, Jim.
In the 80s, we were in Nevada briefly in the 80s. I was going to Carlin High School, Carlin, Nevada. God, I hated it. And the English class had one of those great thick books of short stories, a textbook full of short stories. And I remember that was the most cringy collection of crap I've ever read in my life. This would be 81 or 82, and it was bloody awful. If I can still remember the plots of some of the short stories, and it was all anti-religion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And very much you must obey the mandates of, this was in 82. You must obey the mandates of the benevolent, federal government. And the stories were poorly written. And I remember sitting, reading this book and looking at the instructor and going, why the hell? And going, well, the state of Nevada says I have to teach this.
Yeah.
And if I could find that textbook, it was taught in Nevada in sophomore English in 82, I think. 82. And it was a great thick book of short stories, and they were cringy. And I'd like to get one so I could tell everybody this is how not to do a short story, because they were fucking awful. God, they were terrible.
Oh, and for anybody doing the math, if Ian was a sophomore in 82, that makes him of an age now.
Yeah. Koala says we're still on gatherings of 10 or more in New Mexico because the governor's got her nose shoved so far up the DC assholes.
Oh,
Jason, I got to disagree with you. I don't think Abbott's trying to save his job. Abbott has done what he thinks is right.
yeah. He's
A lot
never.
of people don't necessarily like it because
He didn't do the mask mandate. I don't think he did the mask mandate.
He didn't do it the way we would have done it.
To save his butt.
Yeah.
I think he listened to his experts and did what his experts said.
Yeah, but he also opened up the state.
Yeah.
One of the first ones to do it.
Yeah. First or second.
Oh, did you see what the our renegade Democrat legislators have been screaming for?
yeah, they want to talk to Biden.
No. They posted on Twitter, Facebook that they need care packages. In the care packages, they specifically requested shampoo, hairspray, salsa, some other stuff that apparently DC doesn't have any shampoo, hairspray, salsa. And I'm just like, these people are getting $225 a day per diem.
Not now. They're not.
No, they're still getting it.
No,
They're not.
Abbott
getting
shut it off.
Oh, did Abbott shut it off?
That's part of his. You're going to show up. I mean, nobody's getting paid in the legislative part of the government. Not the legislators, not their aides. That was one of his. Damn it, I'm not paying you till you get this done.
Right, but these people are not living paycheck to paycheck.
No.
Right. So the fact that they're
I'll send them a
screaming
care
for,
package.
you know what I would send them? Okay, there's a company that does glitter bombs. You get a package.
I was thinking more along the lines of Molly Rabid skunks, but
Right.
personally, but
Right. Well, that's the other thing you can send. But you open up this glitter bomb, and literally glitter explodes out of the package and goes everywhere. And it's stripper grade glitter.
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of it.
oh,
I love the fact that there's stripper grade.
stripper dust.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know all about stripper dust.
I would send
That's
that.
Gunsmith Joe about stripper
Yeah.
dust.
I would, because where they wanted it sent to was posted in the Twitter.
Yeah.
I would send them glitter bombs.
Yeah, Stephanie says the other thing they wanted was Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, Dr. Pepper, because you can't get that anywhere else in the country.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
know.
lived up there for 13 years. I know you.
Oh,
I
I know.
want to send bags of dicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
Jason, the whole thing was Shelley Luther.
This is.
Shelley Luther was not about Abbott. That was about the city of Dallas.
Shelley Luther.
She was the one that got closed down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. The city of Dallas.
Abbott actually pardoned her.
Didn't our
That was the Dallas DA that went after her.
Yep.
yeah, but didn't the Texas Attorney General file an amicus brief with her?
For her, yes.
Yeah, or for her.
Abbott was the one that stayed her because they
Yeah.
convicted her. He said, no, we're not. And then he signed the executive order saying
Yeah.
you can't do this to
Yeah.
anybody else.
Unfortunately, there are liberal strongholds in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
The problem,
assail them every now and again.
yeah, the problem is the media tends to slant things. Gee, to the liberal side, what a fucking surprise.
Yeah. Well, what they're hoping to do is what the media is actually hoping to do. They will run anything bad against Abbott they can.
Yeah.
And he's not been perfect. He really
No,
hasn't.
he
No, he's human.
He's human and a politician.
But the funny thing is the Dems are perfect.
Yeah.
The media is going to try to wreck him enough so that a Republican challenger who cannot beat Beto, primaries him.
Speaking of which, Beto is the one that's paying for all the Dems in D.C., Texas Dems, apparently. And he's cheerleading them on Zoom calls.
So I bet he is.
This Dems and DC thing is the worst publicity stunt
Oh, yeah.
the Dems have ever done.
Yeah.
Everything they've done has backfired on
Texans
them.
are getting pissed about it.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
what's
no, the
even
rest of the
worse,
country's just laughing at it. 'Cause
what's
they-
even worse is the Dems in D.C. are going, oh, no, can't meet with you. Nope, too busy.
Yeah. Apparently they've been demanding to meet with Nancy Pelosi, and she's going, oh.
Well, they got Harris because
They met with the staff,
she'll do anybody.
and they met with Pelosi's staff.
Yeah,
right,
but
but they can't get the actual person.
no.
I thought they actually met with Harris.
I think they did meet with Harris.
Maybe they
Because I was going, please give her COVID, please give her COVID. And they couldn't even get that done.
But she'll do anybody. She's already proven that. So.
She'll do Willie Brown, she'll do anybody else.
Yeah. Now Abbott can't go after Beto. He's aiding and abetting, but there's nothing illegal about what he's done.
Abbott gets kind of sneaky sometimes, so Beto might. But anyway,
he's called an emergency session. They've refused to come. Therefore, they are subject to bench warrants.
Yeah.
Which he has issued.
If he is providing them funds to run from the warrant, he's aiding and abetting.
I say, I bet sneaky. There might be, Beto might regret that. Anyway,
Yeah.
what the media is doing is trying to make sure that somebody primaries Abbott
Yeah.
who cannot beat
Beto.
in because the media wants a Democrat back in
Well,
Texas.
they've been trying to flip Texas blue forever, and it's backfiring.
Oh yeah, and this last election,
where the border counties went red.
Yeah, it. I forget who it was. High up Democratic advisor said we're not touching Texas for a while because it's not working.
Yeah, but the liberals think that they have control now. Oh fuck, Pelosi's running the government like she's queen of the universe.
Kidding, right?
Yeah. Well, the hearing today,
the 1/6 hearing or whatever.
Yeah, January 6th hearing today was
where it's
terrorists. There were 9,000 terrorists. They tried to kill me.
Right.
Whatever. They tried.
Pelosi wrote the questions that they're going to ask for this committee.
Oh yeah, and who did they trot out? But a immigrant black sergeant who got hurt and literally spent a half an hour on his injuries.
Who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
The entire committee, Republican, two Republicans, were in place by Pelosi.
Yeah.
This is not a bipartisan committee in any sense of the word.
And at least one of the Republicans is not a Republican.
Yeah.
What's her nuts?
Neither one of them are.
No, Cheney. Is it
Cheney?
Liz Cheney is not a Republican.
No.
Neither is Kinzinger.
I don't know Kinzinger.
But
Liz Cheney
how she can think that the country would buy off on this committee? Well, okay.
But then we're going to buy off on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody who can't think for themselves is just going to take it at face value.
All they're trying to do is run out the clock, keep this in the media through this year as much as next year as they can.
Hopefully, it helps them in the mid-year elections.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody questioning the whole deal with COVID, the deal with the border, the deal with inflation.
Every Democrat
the Iran nuclear.
Yeah.
Anything that's foreign policy related that the Dems have fallen down on in the less than a year.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. They took 4 years of actual progress.
Yeah.
And destroyed it in less than a year.
And claim that they are making improvements.
Yes.
Every Democratic strategist that will talk, and a lot of them are doing so privately. Remember, I've been saying the entire time the midterm elections are going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Democrat strategists are going, we're going to be out of jobs after 2020.
The problem is the way they're running the government now with Pelosi and Biden's handlers. It won't matter. It won't matter if they're now the minority party because they're going to do what they want and they're not going to let anything else happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see.
If it's a bloodbath, I will lay money. I will lay large sums of money that the Democrats will challenge every single election.
Oh yeah, they will.
And they will keep challenging them. They'll keep calling them.
Oh no, that because they will.
Yeah. And no, they won't. They won't seat them. Remember, once they're elected, they have to be seated in Congress, which means Pelosi has to sit there and go, raise your hand, swear them in. She won't seat them. I guarantee you, they will call all the elections invalid, refuse to seat anybody that isn't a D.
Well, they drug the New York election out for what, 3, 4, 5 months,
and still finally had to give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, though they will refuse to seat anybody that's not a D, and we're going to sit there with a Congress that has 350 members instead of the 458. Right?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, but it'll be all D.
They won't get anything done. Congress not getting anything done is okay by me.
They don't have a quorum.
They can change the rules on quorum. They change the rules on everything to suit them.
It's not working for them.
They change the rules on the filibuster. They change the rules on the nuclear option.
Well, they have not changed the rules on the filibuster. No, that did not fly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they keep talking about it though. They've changed the nuclear option. All this stuff. Anytime they run into a wall like that,
been biting them on the ass every time they
change it to suit their needs.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen. They're gonna lose if they lose majorly because I don't think we're going to have fair elections. I don't think we've had fair elections in a long time. And after this last, when literally more votes showed up for Ficus in chief, who hid in his basement the entire campaign, than Obama had. And granted, Obama had rock star status.
Yeah.
More people showed up to vote for Ficus than Obama. And you bought that.
I didn't buy it.
A lot of people didn't buy it, but
Half the country,
51% of the country bought it, and that's all that matters.
half the country didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But,
and enough of these of the investigations into the swing states, the states that made the difference, has shown massive amounts of voter fraud. Well, not massive.
Irregularities.
Yes, they showed enough irregularities to overturn the presidential election, which they can't because it's yada yada. But anyways, but people bought out. People said, okay, yep, no, this is the election. Yep, this guy hid in his basement for 8 months, and nope, 80 million people showed up to vote for him instead of the 77 that showed up for him.
Jet makes a good point. Says no one bought the fraud except the media.
Yeah.
And the media then turned around and sold it.
No, I guarantee you, there are liberals out there that bought the fraud.
There are some,
And-
but
and-
there's a surprising number that are uncomfortable with, that are, quote, according to polls, uncomfortable with the way the election turned out.
Right. No, we're not going to see a fair election ever again.
Well, you keep saying that. We're good. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What is it? Ballot
harvesting.
No, ballot boxes and then something in the bullets.
Soapbox, ballot box, cartridge box, whatever.
Yes.
Jury box. Something is
That's it. Soapbox, ballot box. I'm sorry. That's my rant for
Stephanie. Jet Smith, you mean Pravda? Yes.
No kidding.
You know, it's bad when Pravda's a better news source than New York Times.
It's bad when the problem's going, damn, guys, you actually tried that crap.
Yeah.
Because they've been and that's the thing, though, the legacy media is losing bad.
Yeah, it's just, and the lies are so overt.
Yeah.
It's like they don't care.
Well,
outside of Manhattan, nobody does.
Jason makes a good point. The 2020 elections will always have an asterisk by the name because of the unchallenged irregularities, because none of them were ever made it to court because the judges kept throwing them out. So we'll never actually know who won.
Right.
And he's exactly right.
And they threw them, and if you look into it, a lot of people have been. I forget where it was. One judge said, threw out a case saying, you didn't cross enough T's or dot enough I's or whatever.
Oh, one of them said you didn't file it in time.
Well, no. Well, when they came back, he said, oh, you haven't filed it in time. They said, well, we did the first time. Well, we can't be bothered with that right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my rant.
Yeah.
We
know.
Yeah, I know. We're not going. We're supposed to live in a republic, and we don't anymore. Yeah. And the people that are in power don't care because they're in power, so they get to do what they want. They get to make the money they want. Screw the rest of us. They can sell this country all they want. Screw the rest of us.
Yeah, Jet says, granted, I have libertarian kin, but I bet there is a majority that range from uncomfortable to bullshit with what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah. Outside of the East and left coast, there's a lot of liberals going.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's a majority. That's what worries me.
It's not a majority. There's a lot of them. It's not a majority.
Yeah, it's just because.
But it's a significant number.
A lot of them they came out of a school system that didn't teach them to think.
Yeah.
That there's no critical thinking involved. There's no.
Well, there's only critical race theory.
Right. There's only which isn't thinking. It's there. Here's an objective thing. Therefore, you're racist.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that they're now saying that children as young as 3 to 6 months are racist?
Yes.
At 3 months, you can barely see.
Yeah.
But you're racist.
Well, and what they're basing that theory on is the fact that, I see a strange face, it's black, and I don't like. Well, they're imprinting on mommy and daddy. They don't like anybody that doesn't look like mommy and daddy.
Yeah. If they could see a strange face and it's white, and they would do
the same thing. Well, they're reacting less.
Yeah.
Less.
But you got to remember, these kids can't see.
Yeah.
They've got this blob is mom shaped and it's mom colored, therefore it's mom.
This blob doesn't. It's kind of mom colored, but not mom shaped. I'm not sure about it.
Right.
This blob doesn't look like mom. I don't like it. But that's racism.
Yeah, they're teaching that 3 to 6 months old racism, which
fucktards.
Well,
which goes. I mean, critical race theory is all about you are racist if you meet these criteria,
And you're racist if you don't.
right? But but you're racist from the get-go.
Yeah.
That's critical race theory. Is you are born racist because
If
apparently
you're white
God imbued you with natural racism.
or something.
Only if you're white.
Only if you're white.
Well,
it doesn't matter if you're
considering
actually
that
white.
when I went and got cats, picked the cat up yesterday and took her and the baby home. The baby took one look at me and started squalling.
A lot of people
Okay,
in
fine,
general.
you don't like me. I get it.
So
Koala says, my Massachusetts family is 100% on board that Mean Orange Man bad lost and then led a coup on the White House to overthrow Savior Biden, who was elected legally.
I will say again my last.
Yeah.
I've lived through coups,
Yeah.
more than one. I know what a coup looks like.
Yes.
Anybody thinks that was a coup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have a license. I don't take it away.
Oh no, I told you about that weekend in Luanda. We weren't sure there was a coup going on.
Yes. So you had to call and check?
We had to call our friends outside of the country to check because the news wasn't going to say anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
the actor says his relative's been in academia for 8 years and he drunk the Kool-Aid.
Academia is a nice place. They have good skiing.
No, you can't reason with the left anymore, Jeff.
You can't reason with anybody in a panic.
Well, no, their idea of rhetoric is, oh, this is my different opinion from you. You're a racist.
Yeah.
Oh, this is my different opinion.
Well, you know,
you're a fascist.
You know how you've lost a debate with a liberal? He starts calling you racist or fascist.
Yeah, that's
As soon as they pull out the racist or fascist thing, you have won that argument.
But that's the first thing they do. And
Well,
as soon as, but they've been taught that if you call somebody racist or fascist,
You win.
you win.
Yeah, and Jason makes a good point. Ever notice that the only ones that actually care about race are the ones who want to accuse others of being racist? Yes.
No, last year, that white cornbread, probably Mormon jackass who in the Salt Lake Tribune posted the op-ed about how the University of Utah needed to get rid of the association with the Ute tribe.
Yeah.
And
the Ute tribe said, "Whoa, hold up there, Zippy."
We've negotiated
Yeah.
the use of our name and this image, and we're getting paid for it. And you want to stop that income?
And we can speak for ourselves.
And we can speak
don't
for
need
ourselves.
your help.
They actually have what do they call it? Not a gaming commission. A sports commission. The Ute tribe, they have a sports commission.
Yeah.
So all the tribal elders get together and they go, okay, these guys are our sports commission. Oh, and this guy's a lawyer too. That's good.
Yeah.
And they can negotiate it. And it's just like,
Well, the Seminoles did the same thing with Florida State.
and you know who wrote that article for the Utes? He's a white liberal.
Who for the Utes or against
No, he wrote the article.
the op-ed that said, he says white cornbread probably Mormon savior of the little colored people, and the Utes hauled off and slapped him down.
It's racism with low expectations.
Yeah.
He doesn't think that the Utes are smart enough to have done anything about this or
You
even know.
little brown people aren't smart enough. Let me save you.
See what pisses me off about critical race theory is if I went to the KKK and they are arbiters, well, arguably the best arbiters for what is white and what is not.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay.
I'm Jewish on one side of my family. I'm Hispanic on the other. The KKK wouldn't know whether to light a cross or Star of David in my front yard. They wouldn't. They wouldn't know. Right? I am not white.
All right.
Somebody who ascribes to critical race theory walks up to me and they see me and they go, "Well, you're white, therefore you're racist."
Well, it's the same thing with the white Hispanics. Remember the whole thing?
Oh yeah, that's only because what's his name shot the kid.
Yeah.
And
Jeff Smith says, by the way, my aunt and uncle were in Fiji for a coup, but it was pretty laid back since most of the island was ignoring it. Yeah.
I can imagine a Fiji coup would be a lot of.
I'm here to tell you, a Nigerian coup is not laid back.
Yeah.
A Ugandan coup is not laid back.
Well, in
anything
Samoa, once they determine who the next king is, the rest of the family has to leave for just that reason.
Anything in Central Africa, you can guarantee.
Sub-equatorial Africa.
Yeah, you can guarantee that if it's a coup, there's going to be arms dealers making money.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be bodies in the streets.
Yeah, whoever has a corner on 762 by 39.
Well, the way
For
that
years, that was Aristotle Onassis.
yeah, no kidding.
Everybody says, "Oh, he was just a great shipping magnet.
No,
Yeah,
he shipped a lot of stuff.
The funny thing is he lost that when Russia broke up, and so now all these other countries, all these little that used to be satellite countries, have massive stockpiles of ammo.
They started selling it.
And they're like, well, we're not getting subsidized by the Russian government anymore. Well, hey, here's a revenue income.
Yeah.
And all these guys just bought entire bases of weapons.
Oh, yeah, for dirt cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, and not just bullets.
The weapons and whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they were buying helicopters. They were buying jets.
Yeah.
My benchmark for coup has always been Idi Amin in a Jeep.
Yeah.
M151 Jeep with a 90mm recoilless rifle on it, driving it through the gates into the courtyard of a government building in Uganda and shooting out all the windows with a 90mm recoilless rifle. That's a coup.
Yeah.
Some jackass.
Strangely, that was one of the scenes in Dogs of War.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Some jackass in a buffalo headdress LARPing in the middle of the Capitol is not a coup.
Having the cops open up the green felt rope
for him?
Yeah, no.
Not a coup.
Yeah.
Is he still in jail?
Yep.
Apparently, they're all still in jail
They're all still in jail. They've been now in jails for
since January 6th.
going on 7 months.
The guys that
And most of them are in solitary.
right, the guys that created the separate country in Portland, are they in jail?
No.
Nope.
The guys that burned Minneapolis, are they in jail?
They were released within 4 hours.
The ones that barricaded the personnel inside the federal court building in Portland and set the building on fire.
Are not in jail.
Not one of them in jail.
Right.
They set a building on fire with people inside of it, and they're not in jail yet.
The guys that went to the Capitol and banged on a drum.
They're in jail.
Okay.
Jason's going, I wonder how long it'll be until they start shifting surplus arms into our conflict.
I want my freaking powder cash, my Hilux, and a crate of Dushkos. I'm owed. The CIA owes me.
You know, the Dushko is a pretty shitty machine gun, right?
I don't care about how good they are. I just want them.
Yeah.
Honest to God, quad 50 cal mount, 4 quad mod deuces.
I can sell a crate of Dushkos to some weeaboo for enough money to buy a fully operational Hind D.
We had a Dushko at the range in Tulsa. Not only did it sucked, but it was
yeah, they do. I don't care.
It just they.
I got a pound of cash and a Hilux. I'll sell a Dushku to some weeaboo for a crap ton of money that will just dot his cupcakes over having one for his backyard.
Why get a Hilux? Just go down to the Toyota dealer and get.
Because the CIA hands out Hiluxes like they're cotton candy at a festival. If you're a revolutionary.
But you got to pay for all the import and everything else, and then
you
got to make sure it has California emissions.
No, Hiluxes don't pass any emissions.
A C-130 lands on the highway. They roll this stuff off. They go, "We weren't here," and they leave. I go, "Yahoo!"
Or conversely, they land the C-130 on the highway. And then some guys come rolling through with machine guns, and 8 hours later, there's a bare frame of what used to be a C-130 and a lot of spare parts on the market.
You're thinking Luanda.
That's already happened once or twice.
You're thinking Luanda.
Listen, if a bunch of illiterate farmers with no metric tools can take an airplane apart that fast, think what Joe Bubba's tractor shop can do.
Oh my God!
Well, considering in the 1960s when I was in college, and there was a crew in New Orleans that was stealing transmissions out of cars on Bourbon Street, and they were jerking transmissions in less than a minute.
Yes.
Out of cars parked on the side of the street. 1 minute. Yep.
Out the door.
Speaking of CIA, though.
I wasn't there, didn't do it. The man was dead when I got there, I swear.
Frederick Forsyth's book,
Which
The Day of the Jackal.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Is an interesting how-to primer.
Well, it was based upon the attempted coup by the Foreign Legion.
Yes,
of the French
against the
government.
Gaul.
Yeah.
Yes.
It failed miserably, I might add.
Not the Bruce Willis movie.
No,
the actual
no.
book.
Yeah,
Okay.
the actual book.
But the funny part is, That was based on his actual reporting from war zones because he was flat broke, didn't have a job because Reuters had fired him. So he wrote the book in like 3 weeks.
Must be nice.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, you run down, take your last $20, buy a case of bourbon, lock the hotel room
Yeah.
door.
That's pretty much what he did. Well, a ream of paper, that's how much he had money for. 500 pages. But it was literally a primer for how to do a coup.
Mm-hmm. How to do?
Don't follow it these days, guys. We've gotten better.
Yeah, but it was hilarious because it was basically a friggin' checklist. You
Well,
know, do this, do this, do this, do this.
I mean, you're talking the French Foreign Legion. They're heavily regimented to begin
Yeah.
with. That's how they
good
think.
God. Oh, good God.
So you know so what did the French do after this coup? The coup by the French Foreign Legion? They installed French officers.
Well, they've always had French officers. What they did was the first.
Now, Raptor, it was actually Day of the Jackal. Dogs of War was a later book. First book he wrote was Day of the Jackal.
The Dogs of War was the Christopher Walken movie.
Yeah.
And that was in Africa.
Yeah.
Um,
the funny part was it was on the CIA's required reading list because that was what they were having their analysts look for overseas.
Oh, God.
If you see anything
Friggin'
like this,
friggin' CIA.
yeah. Hey,
Friggin' jokes.
CIA fact book.
I rewatched 13 Hours.
Christians in Action.
Last night.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll piss you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that CIA, the guy who ran that station, the CIA station chief, massive dick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
compared to some of the ones I met, he was, pretty much par for the course for those dicks.
And he literally shit on them any chance he got.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry, you are in fact correct. The Legion did ban the paratroopers after the coup.
They banned the 1st Regiment foreign parachutists. The 2nd Regiment is still active. First one got permanently disbanded.
Third para exists, but they're no longer parachute regiment.
It's
Air assault.
infantry.
Infantry, yeah, it's pure infantry.
The only
They were in Djibouti when I was there in '75.
the only
Oh, that's the other movie I just watched. Was 15 Minutes of War. Great movie. It's about the Djibouti incident where they a bunch of Somali ran into grabbed a bus full of kids.
Yeah.
And tried to take them across the border, and they hit a tire strip. Because the French Foreign Legion was manning the border.
Yeah.
Put out a tire strip, so the bus is now in this no man's zone.
Yeah.
Between Djibouti and Somalia. So this is before GIGN. Is that their the French-
GIGN, yeah.
Yeah, the French had GIGN. What they had was a sniper squad.
Yeah.
5 guys. They don't run sniper pairs apparently.
No.
And they timed it so there's 4 rebels with the kids on the bus. And they timed it so that all the snipers fired at once, so it sounded like one shot. All four rebels go down, and then it's just a matter of getting everybody back to Djibouti.
Yeah.
French Foreign Legion has some of the finest NCOs and the worst officers of any professional fighting force in the world. But the second Deuxième the 2nd Regiment of Foreign Parachutists is the only parachute unit left in the Foreign Legion, and half the time they're sitting in on an actual French army base, so they can be watched.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the fun part was when we went in there, Djibouti at that time was a major Russian port, refueling port in the Indian Ocean. So we've been out chasing a particular Russian ship. Come driving in on final. We're all looking at the window going, son bitch.
There he is.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Approach, everybody get a camera. And loading cameras. Every window is manned. People are sitting there. All right, here we go again. All right, click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. We took feet of film. Landed, did our thing, except we were not allowed to go out in groups smaller than 5. but we all had escorts. So it was groups of 10.
Yes.
So if we saw the Russians coming, the French Foreign Legion would chivvy us across the street so that we never had a confrontation the whole time we were there. And it was hot. Oh my God, it was hot.
Djibouti's a sucky duty station.
Well, Djibouti stopped being Djibouti a year after that kidnapping incident.
Yeah.
It is part of Somalia now.
No.
It's a part of.
Right, Djibouti's still technically.
Djibouti is its own little country now.
Yeah, well, I guess it stopped being a French colony.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The French pulled out.
Yeah, French
That
pulled
sounds
out,
bad.
but it's now, that's where Camp Lemonnier is, which is where most of the drones are flying out. And we wasted another hour of your time
Oh,
today, folks.
we have.
We didn't talk about food.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we're after Top Gear tried and failed to kill a Hilux, including dropping it from the top of a building.
They
imploded the
blew
building.
they blew
Yeah.
the building up underneath it and drove it away.
All right, folks,
It's a
y'all
Hilux.
They let it get caught in the surf.
have a good week. We'll see you back on Thursday.
Be safe,
Usual
guys.
time. Be safe. Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff. Bye.
They eventually just put that